Welcome back. You're watching Nation Tonight. A major milestone has been achieved in India's quest of sending humans into space. The CE-20 cryogenic engine is now human-rated for Gaganyaan mission. Indian Space Research Organization successfully conducted tests related to the cryogenic stage of the human-rated LVM-3 launch vehicle for Gaganyaan human spaceflight missions. Now, the ground qualification tests for the human rating of the CE-20 engine involved live demonstration tests, endurance tests, and performance assessment. ISRO, remember, has also successfully completed the acceptance tests of the flight engine identified for the first unmanned Gaganyaan, that's G1 mission, tentatively scheduled for the second quarter of this year. Aimed for launch in 2024-25, the Gaganyaan mission aims to launch a crew of 3 humans into an orbit of 400 kilometers for a 3-day mission and bring them back safely to Earth by landing in Indian sea waters. But how does today's achievement hold significance? What does it mean? Let's decode it for you on the broadcast. I'm joined by Jijith Nadumuri Ravi. He's a former scientist at ISRO, also has been part of many GSLV launches and Chandrayaan-1 study phase. Good evening. Namaskar to you, Jijith. Lots of technical terms, lots of jargons and terminology related to the Gaganyaan and the scientific tests that were carried out. But help us simplify and understand what exactly has happened and how is it significant for the Gaganyaan mission.
Yes. So today's success is like a important stepping stone for converting this this particular Gaganyaan, the crew module, safe for humans. So when I say that, so basically what it means is that, see, ISRO has previously done a lot of unmanned space flight like Chandrayaan, then Mangalyaan and everything. But in all those things, there are no humans inside the spacecraft, which we call as the currently when it is a human ready spacecraft is called crew module. So inside that, like a lot of dangers awaits any kind of person inside a kind of spacecraft or a crew module when it is rising up into the sky. So the primary is like, for example, each stage, because in a kind of a GSLV, this is like a GSLV's modified version Mark 3, which is used for the Gaganyaan flight. So we have in our previous now whatever fail-safe mechanism for a human to survive or to escape any kind of dangerous situation. So we have already done previous like tests so that when the first stage is there and if there is any difficulty or any problem, then they can escape through a escape board, etc. So now this is the kind of certification of the third stage, that is a cryogenic stage. So that no, you can actually say that the humans inside this module will be safe. We have primarily have four kind of fail-safe engines, and that also itself provides some redundancy and safety. So whenever some kind of engine failure is there, then you can have that, make use of the redundancy. And another condition for making it human ready is like when the people are inside and the engine is in the the launch vehicle is in the third stage. Now there are certain difficulties, like when it is third stage, it's already up in the into the space, so that other normal recovery escape situations will not be possible. So one is the stability of the firing itself is an important, that is the you have to maintain the thrust for a certain degree of time without any kind of turbulences or fluctuations. So typically it is around 1 hour 45 minutes that is achieved today with the whatever reports that is coming in. So all these like tests, like this is just one of the series of tests that has been conducted in the last 2-3 years. So this is a major milestone in terms of qualifying the entire mission, including the launch vehicle and its the cryo stage, as human ready. So in a single terms, it is like ensuring the human readiness of the.
This is the very basis on which we will be able to send and launch Gaganyaan mission, right?
Correct. Yes. This is the
now
kind
that
of
we know that the challenges will be. Please go ahead.
Yeah. This is one of the major milestone. I would say the most important milestone. for the readiness, because we already have the previous test already confirmed that once it is re-entering into the return back, when it is re-entering into the atmosphere, it can safely land onto the ocean. All this has been tested. So this is one of the important success that we have got for the mission. And now based on the basis of this, we can have the test flights. And so I have, as what I understood, it's like in a series like Gaganyaan 1, 2, 3, and in the last stage you can have the crew also part of the mission. So around three crew members, and we also have like, for example, in the coming test flights, the first one in the planned in the this second quarter of this year, we will have a unmanned space flight wherein the parameters will be monitored. And then we also have some sort of a robot, Mitra, that is being planned, who will be like instead of a human being or a kind of animal, we will have this particular robot which will be there inside the space flight in this particular qualified crew module. And this robot, the Vyomitra, is also capable of understanding the kind of environmental variations and any kind of threat situations that may be coming inside the crew module, so that we get an early understanding of now what are the kind of possible things that can go wrong in a kind of mission. So that information also you will get, and after that,
which is what my next question was, Jijith Ravi.
Yeah.
The fact that we have a lot of significant tests even after this, we have to be sure and 200%, 500% sure before we launch the Gaganyaan mission. But what are the possible challenges that the crew members might face now that we know that the cryogenic engine is human rated? In terms of going into space, what are the kind of challenges that the crew members will be facing?
Yes, so the primary challenge is that is any kind of engine failure, that is that we are actually securing right now. And apart from that, typically any kind of launch, it's a kind of a they will sense a very high gravity because the kind of the thrust that will be coming when you are like accelerating, the gravity is more than the gravity. So that is the kind of experience that any kind of people will get, any kind of astronauts will get inside a crew module. So in that, the engine stability is of an extreme important, because the kind of motion that if there is any kind of vibrations, etc., that will affect overall experience, and they will face some difficulty. And then the atmosphere that is there inside the crew. So any kind of situation in which fire or smoke or any kind of that kind of things, that has to be eliminated. So there is a kind of a bio monitoring, that is the bio environment monitoring inside the crew module that ensure that it's the human life conditions exist inside the module. So those are the kind of things. So any kind of disturbances into the atmosphere in terms of some kind of gaseous emissions, etc., that we have to be very cautious about. And then there are certain experiments, but it's not like during the period of launch, but in a long term, they are also looking at some experiments that is planned inside the Gaganyaan mission. That is around, if I understand, 3 biological experiments and four biological experiments and 1 physical experiment, which involves the human body parameters, like in the outer space, when you are in the space, that is after the mission is successful, and when the astronauts are in the space, there are certain challenges in terms of weightlessness. So there are some kind of studies are involving the formation of kidney stones, or then there is some studies which are focusing on the DNA. So there are certain biological studies which will focus on the long-term impact of people being inside the outer space in a weightless environment. So these are the 2 aspects. If I got the question correctly, the hazards during the launch, which is like a few seconds while you are reaching the outer space, and the crew are supposed to do 7 days of experimentation. So it's not a very long-term stay inside the outer space, but still in the 7 days, whatever you can actually understand the weightless space environment, that also will be subject to the study. and that will be useful, or
Okay.
you will use that kind of information, that data collected, for any kind of future missions actually. So this Gaganyaan mission has to be understood
Sure.
as a kind of a
Yeah.
foundation for a lot of other interesting missions. Like you can create space stations inside
Hmm.
the space station creation, or any kind of like activities
Yeah,
like run test
which is what
vessel
ISRO
docking.
also aims to do. The Bharatiya Antariksha Station by 2035 is one of its aims.
Correct.
And of course, another big target is to send the first Indian to the moon by 2040. And,
Yes.
with the kind of work that ISRO has been doing, I'm sure we will be able to achieve it. We'll leave it there. Jijith Ravi, thank you very much for joining us on Mirror Now and helping us understand and decode what exactly has happened with ISRO in its Gaganyaan mission. Thank you very much.